let's see, 2015-317 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. With that, number 16 will be the first item on the, second item on the agenda, ordinance to amend section 11.17, parentheses 1 of the West Dallas Municipal Code relating to penalties for violating a provision of Chapter 11.
Move approval.
It's been moved by Alderman Weigel. A second for further discussion.
Second.
Second by Alderman Ranky. Further discussion.
What's it about?
Alderman Rhodes.
Is this the dumpster one?
Dumpster,
Yes.
dumpster trespass fees or whatever you wanna
Yep.
call it.
It is, dumpster?
Yep, that's what Mike was saying.
What about pods?
It's the same, if something is parked on the street, they have to get a
Okay.
dumpster permit.
Okay.
So we've been finding that a lot of these companies are just dumping them out there and they're not coming in to get a permit.
Like roofing tear-offs or remodeling
Yeah.
contractors.
Really?
And the reason for the permit is, you know, we got rules, you gotta have barricades out and safety stuff.
Right.
There's no insurance with it?
There's no insurance with it, no.
I'm not advocating that, I'm just asking.
I mean, it's usually the homeowner that's getting it for some reason, working on the house or whatever. But we want it to have a barricade because it's in the street, and to know that it's there.
Yeah, we should know that it's
And-
there.
And some places we wouldn't allow them, so we wanna know it's coming.
Yeah,
You know, we wouldn't let them put it in a street that's maybe under construction.
or too
stuff.
narrow. Yeah, maybe the street's about too
Right.
rough. And is that, those fines that were mentioned, was that a per day or per instance?
That, I don't know that for sure.
Because $1 a day, that's cheap rent if you wanna have a little mini house.
Well,
parked
right,
up for an-
right now.
Yeah, well, that's what it was, yeah.
So, I don't know how the fines work exactly. I'm not sure that we've fined too many people.
Well, before it probably wasn't worth fining them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
is there a
there's-
violation to cite it?
Yeah.
It would be cited, yeah.
Okay.
And does that go to the owner of the dumpster?
It would go to, the dumpsters usually have their name on it, and
Yeah.
so, yeah, we would cite the dumpster owner.
And not the homeowner?
That's a good question.
No.
My understanding,
It is the dumpster owner. And we have, just a clarification, city attorney has suggested
Insurance?
coverages.
Uh,
We can bring that back if you wish. If
No,
you want
no,
to think about
it's
it,
already
because-
expensive enough here, thanks.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
trying to encourage.
Yeah, we're trying to encourage remodeling.
But, I mean, it's up to you, but that's why I haven't brought it forward.
Yeah.
and the alternative could be to go pick them up, take them away, so.
Which would cost more than $50,
Yeah,
so.
Right.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? That's been moved by Alderman Weigel, seconded by Alderman Ranky. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number, this one says 17 also. That was 16. Okay, this is 17. Resolution relative to accepting proposals of various. Who said that? Chaplesky? Alderman
Yes, I did.
Chaplesky, seconded by Alderman Weigel. Is there further discussion? Been moved by Alderman Chaplesky, seconded by Alderman Weigel. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Number 18, resolution to approve the bid of Lalade Construction for the installation of curb and gutter.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Chaplesky, seconded by Alderman Ranky. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 19, resolution granting the privilege of encroachment major to the new owner of BFS WI LLC for the property located at 7127/29 West National Avenue. Who it wants to speak on this?
Which building is that?
Bill,
That's the night court,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cause I was,
and it's a
The tavern?
piece of their roof.
The old mansard
overhangs.
roof hangs over the sidewalk, and
Yeah.
the sign.
And this is just a new owner, so
It's just getting passed on to
it's
him.
getting passed on.
This isn't a new owner just this month, this is from like last fall, correct? This is Chaz Hastings?
I don't know when it changed hands.
Yeah.
A lot of times there is a little bit of a
Yeah,
time
a lag.
span there before
Mr. Chair?
we get.
Yes.
those things.
Alderman Weigel?
Have they come in for any permits or anything, building, or this is just a matter of just getting, there hasn't been any, because it's been quiet, they haven't done a stitch to the building, they kept the snow shoveled all winter, that's it. This hasn't, we don't know if there's any, been remodeling permits pulled or
Don't
anything?
know that,
Okay.
so you could check on that.
One of the neighbors keeps asking me whenever I see her.
This is just for overhang, it's not for peddling, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Do
Okay,
you need a motion yet?
Yeah, we haven't had one.
Move approval.
second.
Moved by Alderman Weigel, seconded by Alderman Ranky. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Resolution granting a sewer easement by the Community Development Authority in the City of West Dallas to the City of West Dallas for the property described on engineering drawing dated March 9th, 2015. See attached Exhibit A and made part hereon. You'll have to explain so we can just,
Okay.
From the
I don't
CDA
have
to
to
the
pull
city.
the,
What
Picture
this
up.
is the lime pit site.
Right.
The Juno Highlands.
Juno Highlands.
Juno Highlands.
Juno Highlands.
Juno
We're
Highlands,
branding
or
that's Juno Highlands.
Or it's referred to as the MT building or something like that, ML building? No.
Mr. Chairman, this is not done to influence any voting, but my wife made cookies for St. Patrick's Day. Have at it.
That is,
I can't.
that is outstanding, but I'm not sure that's on the agenda tonight, so I don't.
I'm sure it would be if you asked your committee.
Is there some sort of
It's an executive decision.
parliamentary procedure to go off the agenda?
I believe we can, all in favor?
We got turned
Okay,
again.
Sorry,
I'm
Ted.
explaining it.
So, the lime pit property, along the railroad track,
Yeah.
from 68th and Burnham all the way down to Beecher Place, there's a sewer, a large diameter storm sewer with a sanitary kind of under it. It's put in the 30s. It's right inside the railroad right of way. We want to put that into this property so that 30-foot easement is where we're going to locate that in the future. So we wanted that easement before this gets sold,
Oh, okay.
so we can retain that area.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Chaplowski, seconded by Alderman Ranky. Just, on the follow-up, so it'll remain open. That, they won't put the building on top of it.
Correct. They can pave their driveway in that, but they
But
can't
they
build
know-
over it.
Right, got it. Moved by Alderman Chaplowski, seconded by Alderman Ranky. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Number 21, resolution authorizing the Director of Public Works City Engineer to accept proposals for the purchase of equipment and other rental items and provide emergency backup service to the Department of Public Works yard in an amount not to exceed $35,000. This is a,
The emergency generator at the Public Works Division. This provides just in a severe weather emergency, power outage, we can get our vehicles out a little bit more quicker. Obviously, when the windstorm or something like that, we usually manually would have to open up all the doors, all the divisions, power it that way. So by having this, we purchased the generator a couple years ago, and then we purchased a transformer which has a advanced transfer switch that automatically would kick back on and supply power to the building itself. So we don't have to call in extra personnel to get them there and get the power back into the building.
Okay, move to approve.
moved by Alderman Ranky,
Second.
seconded by Alderman Chaplowski. Is this budgeted? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
in the capital account, yep.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, carried. I think number 22 and 23 were on the public hearing tonight. So if you care to have me read them out, I will.
Move to approve.
Second,
Both
22 and
22 and
23.
23. Alderman Ranky, seconded by Alderman Weigel. Is there any further discussion on items number 22, 23? Alderman Weigel.
Mr. Chair, yeah, thank you. You brought up a point. It was brought up at why do we replacing the curbs if they're probably perfectly good? Well, but I think the engineer, Pete Daniels, answered it. Well, those curbs are 20 years older, so in 20 years from now, the curbs go, we gotta fix the street. And the reality is the way we assess, that really wouldn't save that homeowner,
Not 1 cent.
well, 1 cent.
No.
The
Because that we,
curb's 53 years old.
that curb's 53 years old already.
Yeah, and what's happening in that road is it seems to have bad subgrade, so
Yeah.
it's all,
Good kind of,
it's kinda like Orchard Hills, we're losing the voids in the
Yeah.
pavements, so
It's,
otherwise it should have been in better shape.
And again, just to reiterate, they still would have paid the same assessment if we would have left the old gutters in. You're paying for the street.
yeah.
So, with that, item number 22 and 23, moved by Alderman Ranky, seconded by Alderman Weigel. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. That would conclude Public Works. and move it over to Alderman Mickey Chapleski, Chairman of License and Health.
Well, license and health, meeting to order.
Moved and seconded on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was those two.
Yeah, it was,
Any order.
Sonia
okay.
here,
Any order.
come on up. Have a seat. Sure. So you know why you're here?
I think so. I mean, I was given a verbal warning for smoking.
By the
Well,
police department.
Yes, they found a customer smoking in my bar on one of my shifts.
Right. And also, let's see, in the police report, I think you said you were in a bathroom, but when the police came in, you know, you were like 5 feet away or something.
Can I explain that?
Sure.
Okay.
That's right here.
For that night, I actually had brought up 2 cases of beer, put it behind the bar, went straight to the bathroom. When I was coming out of the bathroom, I seen a gentleman in the corner was waving me down, so I went over to the gentleman to serve him. So I was actually, my bar, there's a corner, I was in the corner. When the officer came in, I said, "Can I help you, sir?" He walked right past me, walked around the bar, so I followed him, and I said, "Is there someone you're looking for? May I help you?" And when he stopped, I stopped that 5 feet, and he said to me, "Well, did you know that smoking is against the law?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, why is she smoking?" And I looked, and then she raised her cigarette from her leg like this. And I was like, I said, "I didn't know she was smoking." I said, "I literally just got out of the bathroom. I was serving someone." And he was, he was upset, I mean, his partner apologized, for being rude. And so he didn't give me a chance to talk. And I was coming out of the bathroom. I did not know she was smoking. I had a bachelorette party that night and a birthday party. I was very busy. And she's been, a problem before in the past. We've kicked her out because she tries lighting cigarettes in our bars. I honestly didn't see her with a cigarette.
Okay, now, did you get a copy of the summons and complaint? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. See, I think there was 2 times we called you in front of us and you didn't show up. And because of that, we put a summons and complaint to take away your license, because you were just totally ignoring us. So, did you read the summons complaint?
Yes.
And do you disagree with anything on the summons and complaint?
Well, I know for the serving of me for coming in for a March 3rd appointment, I work from home. I'm home every single day. There's not one time anybody has ever tried coming to serve me a paper that I had to appear here. Now, I received a card, final notice. It's the only notice I received. I was handed by it was in with my mail. And it says for the 4th. I mean, I would have shown up if I would have been aware of it. No one tried serving me. I work from home. I'm home all day. I have a disabled child. I have equipment being delivered. I have oxygen. I'm home all the time. No one tried serving me papers to be here. I would have been here. Honestly, I mean,
Mr. Chair?
On the way.
I don't think the first 2 would have been services. Their first 2
Right.
Just been letters.
invitations would have been a letter addressed to you at your address of record.
okay.
And you say you got neither of those records.
No, but I received when the cop came. I had received this, and I showed the cop who delivered me the paper. I said, "Are you talking about these cards?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "It clearly says the 4th."
Oh, I'm sorry, these cards? You got more than
Well,
one of those?
these. Well, no, this card.
Okay.
I was saying, is this how this is delivered? The card.
Okay.
This is the one, and I brought it. It's the one I have. I mean, I work from home. I'm home all day.
And what's the date on that one?
The 4th. And I was supposed to sit up here on the 3rd. That's the one it says in my complaint.
Right.
I mean, I'm here today. I would have been here on those dates if I would have been aware of it.
Yeah. That's the reality of why you're here. Is why we had to go through the effort of serving you, because
I apologize. I do.
we want, we can't, the way the law is written, we can't penalize the licensee,
Right.
and smoking's still illegal. And I don't remember this particular complaint, but where the police were responding to a complaint, I assume. It's not something we go looking for.
No.
And so if someone complains about they see a law being broken, we can't just go, "Oh, that's a law we don't really care about."
And I totally understand that. And I didn't think I know the gentleman, because that night there
But
was.
it doesn't matter who made the complaint.
Well, no, I mean, there were those vapors, and me and this gentleman had an argument about it. How he was telling me it was against the law.
Vapors are not against the law.
And that's what I said. It's up to the bar owner. And he says, "Well, I'm calling the cops." And I said, "You can call the cops." Whether he stated that we were smoking in the bar, because
Yeah.
I had an obnoxious guy. He was being kind of a jerk about it. He was making rings on the bar, and he was clearly upsetting this gentleman. But you know, I wasn't smoking. There was no one else smoking. That one woman was smoking.
You don't have ashtrays. You don't have.
No.
Some bars have like a little fine kitty. You don't.
No.
You just don't let.
No, and one of the officers was behind the bar. And he actually, you know, came behind the bar to look for the licensing.
Yeah.
He would have clearly seen any of those.
Well, people use like little
No.
Sucrets tins,
yeah, the metal boxes.
little metal all sorts of stuff. You know, and we're not. You know.
No, and
You know, honestly, I'm satisfied that through a miscommunication, she didn't get her first 2 notices. I don't know what your thoughts are on it.
My thoughts, well, we think, we're gonna wait for the city attorney, I think, because it is someone's a complaint.
Okay.
All in Boston?
Yeah, the first thing I would do is I would check with our city clerk to make sure we have the right address, because those are mailed to you, and you say you're home all day long, and they come in a West Dallas envelope, and they're pretty clear to me that you would know exactly what they are.
no, I do. I open them.
I have some doubt whether or not you actually saw them or not, but I'm not going to judge that here.
Okay.
This is an extremely minor violation. You caused us 2 mailings. You've caused us summons and complaint, attorney time, etc. And we needed to do something to get your attention, because obviously you were just putting your nose up at us. It is illegal,
I understand
and
that.
you know you really have to patrol that.
Yes.
So, like I said, it took all of this to get your attention, and why you're not receiving mail at your house, or while you're not screening your mail, because you might have just took the envelope and tossed it, I'm not sure, but you really should pay more attention.
Okay, I will agree with that, but I would like to say that, I mean, I have a daughter who's in West Dallas. When West Dallas mail comes mails, I open it. I never know if it's something she did at school, or, I mean, I'm kind of a problem child. I open up my mail, honestly.
Okay,
What's
so-
your question, Mick?
I said, well, we have a summons complaint, we just placed it on file? Even though you're agreeing that there's, you said on the summons complaint, you don't have any disagreements with it, or you do?
No, I guess.
Violation's just not strict enough.
Yeah. What?
I said the violation's just not strict enough. Unfortunately, we had to go through that to get her attention.
Right. So, well, we have 2 things before us. First of all, the police report. And then we have the summons and complaint.
Either, okay,
So, Alderman Weigel.
You said you've had a problem with this woman in the past,
Mhm.
and you just don't ban her, just kick her out. Tell her never to come
We've
back.
kicked her out. Usually our policy is, depending on what it's for, we'll kick them out for a week, sometimes 30 days. Actually, that night that she was there, I hadn't seen her for a month. It was a fluke that she actually was in there. I think she was involved with the birthday party that I had there that night.
You know, maybe you want to just consider just
Well, she has been since, obviously, the incident.
either way, waiting for the city attorney, I don't believe we're gonna take any action, negatively on this, so to have her hanging around,
Right.
I think she got the point.
Okay, so do I have a motion on either one of these?
Do you wanna hold them until the city attorney advises us what to do with this? Or do, because otherwise we can just say place on file.
Right.
I move the place on file.
Second.
Okay. Alderman Rhodes, second. Okay, do we have any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Don't let it happen again.
Yep.
so you're good.
Oh,
You
okay.
restore your
Yeah.
license.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're all
Thank
good.
you very much.
Don't let her smoke anymore.
Okay,
Trust me.
okay, we have, the other stuff is M&M, but we will wait for the city attorney for that. So I'm gonna move on to. That's all we
You wanna
have.
go back to the 30s?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to start. Okay,
Here
we
he
have, well, take it back. Okay. He's here. Okay,
Nick of time?
in the nick of time, we were just gonna move on.
I just had one about
So,
nicotine.
Alyssa, come forward.
Check 'em.
Did you, M&M,
Yeah, 57, 58,
Okay, thank you.
the stuff we need you for.
Hey, Scott. Good evening, I'm Attorney Thomas McClure, I'm assisting Ms. Martin, I was the one who filed the objection statement.
Okay. Um, So, Scott, talk to you now with that, have you read the
Yep.
the letter and everything? So how do we proceed with this thing?
Well, obviously you have two choices. One, you can just proceed with your findings and recommendations to the council, and the objections can be noted, and the council can act. Or you can, hold the matter and have a hearing on the issues. Those are the two choices that you have. I think, either way is probably gonna be permissible under the law. If you hold the hearing, what you do is you really double down on affording the license holder the due process, the process that she's due. I think that's already been provided. Notice, an opportunity to be heard were given, and she got the notice. She was made aware of the complaints against her and responded to it, and there was an admission to that. Basically, what they're asking for now is a chance to still provide testimony despite her admission on those things. And what that would do would at least take out any argument that she wasn't afforded a full opportunity to be heard on the matter. So it's up to you on how you want to decide that. I think really there's the best way to handle it would probably be to afford her the opportunity to have the full-blown hearing that she's asked for. It doesn't really, this isn't a case of, other than, potentially the public being defrauded as to what they're buying. There's no immediate harm, threat, danger kind of a thing to the community by not acting. So there's time to afford a hearing.
Well, I think that we've always been fair. Just by your reaction, I thought that you didn't really realize what the summons and complaint was for.
Right.
And I personally don't have a problem with going to the hearing, on that. I don't know what the rest of the committee.
It would just, if it came to the same conclusion, it would just take several weeks longer, right? We're not talking about months, where we'd have to schedule a hearing, depending on what the net.
Well, I
result
mean,
is at the time.
depending on what the testimony
Yeah,
is and how long that takes, who knows how long it would take.
I mean,
Who knows how long we would have to.
we'd end up with
Come
testimony
together.
from Department of Revenue agents also, correct?
Right, whoever the prosecutor thinks would be an appropriate witness. As I understand it, there was a DOR agent, there were at least one, maybe several people from the health department, and a police officer or two. So that would be the prosecution side. For M&M, any rough idea how many witnesses?
I would probably wanna have the people who are involved be subpoenaed, if you didn't do it just as a professional courtesy between attorneys,
Yeah.
I'd find out who you're bringing, and if you're not bringing one or two of them, I'd subpoena them.
Again, I'm not the prosecutor, I represent the board, so, Ms. Merton would be the prosecution, and what I do is I send out you a letter and her, asking that if you want anybody subpoenaed, let me know, I'll have the chair sign the subpoena, and I will let you know who's been subpoenaed by the other side.
That would be
So that
acceptable.
you would know who's going to be there.
Right. And we're not looking at a long hearing, we just wanna have time to prepare and time to present someone if we don't think enough people are gonna be here who can talk about what happened. Cause some of these things are matters of interpretation.
Is there new facts you're gonna present that, we didn't know about, that perhaps the agents were falsely mislabeling the bottles, or?
There's
some-
questions here, there was a note of crock pots found, and therefore there was a finding there was crock pots being used for food. That wasn't so. There are questions of timing of things. There was a pig roast a year and a half ago, but I don't think it came up at your last meeting, that anyone knew, really focused on when that happened. If something happened a week after it opened a year and a half ago, that's pretty stale. So there's just little nuances like that. I have a call into Laura Temke. She did try to return my call once. I'm trying to interview her. I already have an open records request at the police department. We're not trying to waste time. We're just trying to get to the heart of it. And I would say the time of the hearing, I would not anticipate longer than 45 minutes, if that. Even with your stuff in and then putting my stuff in, I'd have probably 15 minutes of questions, if that, very directed to probably 2 people.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments? Should we should set up a date for the hearing then?
Did we again put on the agenda that we can go in closed session and discuss this? We got to put that on.
Not on today's.
And just so you know, gentlemen, I sat down with Scott for half hour and we tried to go over all these issues. So I'm not wasting time or putting off the inevitable. I just want to make sure she gets a fair hearing.
Just for future, anytime we have any kind of a summons and complaint or anything like that, please put on a closed session, automatic, whether we go into it or not,
What does it mean?
that we can discuss between ourselves.
Just a committee.
Without anybody else?
Right.
So do we have a date? When's our meeting in April? Yeah, April. That would be 28th. That's our regularly scheduled meeting.
Yeah, 28th is the 4th Tuesday.
Problems?
Why don't we do it, why don't we can't do
That's
it
a
quick
very
enough to
reluctant
April
no.
7th, that we can do it before the council meeting?
I won't be here April 7th.
All right,
You don't need me.
I'd be happy to do it on April 7th.
But it would be at 6 o'clock?
it says
Is
nine.
that
Well, the
just
trouble
one
with that
for-
is, Ms. Merton has municipal court in the afternoon.
Oh,
And
right.
when she you've run into that problem where
Yeah.
she
Plus-
can't get here for some of those
Right.
meetings. That would be a bad one for her not to get here.
And
And
plus,
selection day.
And it's
Oh.
election day. That's a
Oh,
bad day.
not a good day, not a good day.
And so that, yeah, okay.
So then 28th.
Set up
April
for
28th
29th. That should get enough time to call
Right,
everybody who's
that-
supposed to call
that-
anything.
that
The
allows-
7th might be a little
right.
quick too, so, okay. So everybody knows the 20th, regular scheduled meeting.
6 o'clock is the
Yep.
meeting? Yeah, okay.
All this stuff is still on hold.
Thank you very much, John. Appreciate it.
Okay. Scott, we just placed that last summer's complaint for the smoking block, we just placed it on file. Just to give her explanations, she
Oh,
said she
okay.
never got the letters and everything. So there's not a problem with that, I mean, that's,
Well, that's a,
if we're not gonna do anything, that's what to do.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
I just want to make sure, so you don't come back and say,
You can't do that with a summons and complaint.
what the heck you guys
yeah,
doing?
I mean, the summons complaint was issued at this committee's direction, so if you
Right.
To get
wanna
her
withdraw it
attention.
and,
Yeah.
it serves a purpose. Brought her in here and you got your explanation.
Okay, we have items number 34, 35, and 36 on this agenda. These are-
37?
No, just 36. Do I have a motion?
Move approval subject to
Necessary
necessary
requirements.
requirements.
Second.
Do we have a second? Okay, we got a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? These guys wanna see how fast I can do this. Let me get little stamps made. Okay, then we have 37.
Carpal tunnel.
Well, except for my signature.
Used vehicle dealer licenses,
Okay, 37, and let's go 38 and 39.
special
also.
B wines.
No, 37, just 37, 38. Do I have a motion?
Move for approval, subject necessary requirements.
Second,
That's on 37, 38 is just for approval?
Move for approval.
correct.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We have 39, this is for carnival permit for the downtown à la carte.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Will there be donkey basketball?
Doesn't say
Will there be
anything on
donkey
there.
basketball?
No pig wrestling.
Okay,
No donkey.
okay, just checking.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And then we have number 40, bartender's license.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And then we have 41, 42, 43, 46, 48, and 49. This is the police report and all the bars which we're not calling in. Do I have a motion?
Move to place on file.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, then we have number 55 and 56. Okay, 55 is the communication. No,
55 is
no,
the finding.
56 is the communication with Joe Kempen. 3-year extension, and we had the hearing on it and everything, and 55 is the findings.
Well, 55,
so.
I would assume we can place on file, and 56 approve and place on file? Is that right,
Yeah.
Scott?
I think we need to approve
I
it.
think you need to move to approve the findings
Both?
and recommendations. That, yeah.
I move
Has
to
that been
approve.
before this body yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, well, maybe you've already acted on it, I don't know, but just to be sure, go ahead and.
I don't think we did. 55 and 56, move to approve and place on file.
Second.
Is there any further discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. And I believe that is all.
Scott, thank you for your time.
Where is
Yeah.
it?